Welcome to Ignite Interviews. I'm Cyndi Donahue, and I'm very pleased to welcome Marie Widmeyer from Coeur d'Alene to the show. Welcome.
Thank you, Cyndi. It's nice to be here.
I just said from Coeur d'Alene because there's so many things that you do in Coeur d'Alene and different businesses you run. What are all of your business ventures?
Well, my husband and I started about 30 years ago buying real estate property and managing that and refurbishing houses and apartments. And then slowly we worked. I bought my first clothing store 2 months pregnant with my twin daughters and 2 young boys at home. We have 3 retail stores now. And recently we've gone into the restaurant business, and we have the Fort Grand Grill, which is located in the Fort Grand area. And then our sons traveled abroad and became fascinated with Bavarian cooking and the German food. And so we opened the Bier Haus about a year ago.
And what are the names of your boutiques?
So Marie's Boutique, which is in the lobby of the resort, and that was the first one. Marmalade, which is on Sherman, 308. Sherman has the black and white striped awning, and then we have a little vintage store downtown. And then we have a new location that we opened in December in Brooklyn, New York.
Wow. So you're not busy at all?
Not at all, no.
And what is your business philosophy? Like kind of as you do these different ventures, is there kind of a common thread through them?
Well, when I was in the 4th grade, I made a denim wrap skirt, and I had to model it for the county fair. And I just fell in love with fashion. And so for me, fashion has always been a feeling because that was something that made me happy. I grew up in foster homes, and so I needed something to connect to. And I just always loved fashion, and I thought it should be fun. It made me feel good. It kind of took me to a place where it was my happy spot. So we've just always gone with things that are feelings. You know, when we first started our restaurants, it's like not like we set out, oh, we're going to start a restaurant. It's like things just happened, and we followed our gut and took what came to us and made the best of it.
So fashion kind of is a self-expression, something that makes you feel good about yourself for anyone that I would think that
exactly.
comes in.
Yeah. And we want other people to feel that. So in our clothing stores, that's our goal is fashion is fun, and we want everyone to experience that.
And then same in the restaurants, I guess, something that's fun. And you said your sons were in Bavaria? And that's
yes,
what they were.
Back? They played professional football, not
Oh.
soccer, but football. And they just fell in love with it. They rode their bike. They got like 2 meals, a room and board, and a bike as part of their compensation. And so they would go down to this restaurant, this favorite restaurant they had, and ride their bike, and just became fond of that life and that experience that they were feeling.
And so they brought that back for everyone in Coeur
Yes.
d'Alene.
Yeah. And they've been wanting to do it for a while, and finally the opportunity came up, and they took advantage of it.
So you obviously have a family-run business ventures, multiple. And then do you also have kind of a culture you try to create among members of your team in the different ventures, like a philosophy of culture or something that you guys focus on with your team members?
Yeah, so as we've done all these business adventures along the way, our kids have always been with us. I mean, when we were fixing up houses, they would come with me. Even when the boys were younger, as they got older, they didn't love to come to the retail store, the women's clothing store as much. But when they're younger, they like to count the change back, and the girls completely grew up in it. So they've loved that atmosphere. And so we've always felt people working for us were part of our family. And we've had many women at Marie's work for us for many years. We've had one gal that's been with us for 19 years.
Wow.
And then Kenzie, who works at our Marmalade location in Coeur d'Alene, when she first started working for us, she became pregnant for the first time. And when her daughter was born, she was able to bring her to work. And then a couple of years later, her son came to work with her as well. And we just kind of worked together and made the best of it. And so we've always just felt that our employees are part of our family.
Well, that is obviously the common thread, right, is family. And then what kind of expansion do you have? It sounds like you always have new ideas and new things are coming. So do you have new things coming on the horizon for your various ventures?
We do. We've worked really hard with the online for the retail stores just because of COVID. It definitely changed things a bit. We get a lot of people coming into Coeur d'Alene because it is such a great place to live, and they go back home and they want to continue shopping with us. So we've tried to really grow our e-commerce, and we'd like to expand. Since we've expanded to New York, we'd like to take it to maybe a couple other locations. So we're looking at that. We're just, whatever, if an opportunity opens, we'll see if it feels right for us and go forward with it.
And are you still involved in real estate as well? Do you have ventures there?
We are, yes. And so our son actually started his property management company, and so he manages all of our properties now. So he's he's his own boss and likes that. I think we've raised our kids to like to be their own boss and drive their own bus and go the direction they want to go.
Well, that's a good gift to give them. I mean, we were talking about Coeur d'Alene housing. I mean, it is the number one housing market in the United States. And so what are you seeing out in Coeur d'Alene in terms of, just the expansion and people coming in? Is it feeling of excitement? Does it feel like it's kind of bringing a new voice in to the city?
I think it's great. I comment, the biggest thing I notice is families. Like when I'm driving to and from work, I'll see a mom and a dad and kids walking down the sidewalk together. So I think bringing families here is great, because I think you need to have older generation and younger generation coming into your city and providing a balance of all ages.
Yeah, well, there's always so much going on out there in Coeur d'Alene. And so do you think that as the continued growth happens, it will bring more innovation into Coeur d'Alene?
Oh, I think so, because I think people are coming from bigger cities and have ideas that they've seen there that work and come into our community, and obviously it needs to be adjusted. You can't take one application and bring it into another city and expect the same results. I think you have to modify it to work for you and your community.
And you're involved in the Chamber of Commerce. You sit on the board, correct? At the Coeur d'Alene Chamber of Commerce. And so what kind of programs or events are going on for the Chamber? Is there something coming up this summer or anything that's going on?
Well, we have a new director, and he's doing a great job of bringing in some excitement and energy. We're bringing in Elizabeth Smart this summer to do a speech, and we're just really excited that she agreed to come to our community and do that, because she typically garners a pretty high price tag, and she lowered it for us. So we feel very fortunate that that's going to happen. So
if someone wants to join you at that talk with Elizabeth Smart, how would they buy tickets? Would they just go online for the Chamber and
go to the Chamber's website?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Coeur d'Alene Regional Chamber. We recently did a rebranding and felt that we need to expand to the region and not just include Coeur d'Alene.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's such a hub of that whole area, of our whole area. And I always talk with people, they say Spokane or Coeur d'Alene. I always say it's basically one metro area. I mean, this is kind of this imaginary border, but we're always going back and forth between the two. It seems like no matter which side of the border you live on, you're always going back and forth.
Exactly. Very true.
Yeah, we do that. So we keep our boat there. And so I'm out there fairly often, and it's fun to be a part of two different cities and to feel at home in both. I think that members of the Coeur d'Alene community are so great about being welcoming and creating an atmosphere that brings everyone together. At least that's how it's felt for me.
Yeah, true. And it's such a short drive.
Yeah.
We're so fortunate. I know that traffic can be a problem sometimes, but in the big picture, I think it's not bad.
Yeah, it's compared to other places, it's not too bad at all. And then you also sit on the board of the Art and Culture Alliance.
Yes.
And so tell me a little bit about some of the art in Coeur d'Alene. I think we were talking about how much I love the outdoor art. So is there other kind of art and culture, either events or outdoor art that's coming?
Well, we always have Art Walk the second Friday of every month. And then in the summer, we'll start the Riverstone concert series, which is in the Riverstone area. And we're just getting a new cover for the amphitheater down there. So that will be a good improvement. And that's every Thursday nights. And then Emerge is just recently reopening after the fire they had in their other location. So and they provide lots of art activities. And then also the Hamilton House was recently purchased for the the Coeur d'Alene Symphony to do music lessons and things like that. So there's, art doesn't mean just, a piece on the wall.
Right. Yeah.
There's
it's everything.
Different parts of art.
Yeah. Art, music. And I know you have Gizmo out there.
Yes.
Makerspace.
Yes. That's a fun environment.
Yeah. I mean, there's just always so much innovation happening in Coeur d'Alene. So many great startups, so many great businesses. So I'm so grateful that you came on the show to talk about Coeur d'Alene and how much we love this community. Is there anything else you want our community to know about all your businesses and things that are coming?
I would just like to say that, we've been very, very blessed on that we've had the support from our community, and we always love to give back. So we do produce charity fashion shows, and so we have one coming up at the end of June for Wine Women Shoes, which supports Idaho Youth Ranch. And Coeur d'Alene is just a great community in supporting all the nonprofits that we have. Anytime there's an auction or event, there's so many people out to lend a hand and give back.
And that's Wine, Women, and Shoes.
Correct.
How can anyone not want to go to that?
I know.
And how many years has that been running?
That's been going about 9 years.
Wow. And you recently had a fashion show as well.
True, for 3Cs, which is the Cancer Community Charities, which is an organization that was started, I believe, in the 70s by a group of women who wanted to give back and started this organization. And they have clubs now, and you pay dues, and they raise money throughout the year, and they give a lot back to our community. I'm thinking close to $300,000 in a year.
Wow. Well, I appreciate you coming on the show and promoting Coeur d'Alene and all that you have going on. And hopefully I'll get to see you out in Coeur d'Alene soon.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you.